Hey guys, I'm so excited to be here with you guys tonight. Oh, sorry. I know this week we've had some glitches and some technical issues with something's going on with Facebook Live from desktop. So I'm coming to you on my phone. So I want to make sure that everything is going to look okay. So bear with me. Normally I would do this from my desktop, but we've had a few issues, and I don't want you guys to have any issues because I want you guys to have a very successful evening doing a live power hour with me tonight. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Tawnya Landis, and I know Lauren Duke is supposed to be on tonight, but we switched places because her daughter had a birthday dinner and she should be at that. So you guys get me tonight and you'll get Lauren tomorrow. So again, my name is Tawnya Landis. I'm a 9-star diamond coach, 3-time elite coach. Been a coach for 6 years. Absolutely love Beachbody. It's how I support my family of 5. And here's the deal, you guys. I got into this business, like most of you, got into getting shape after babies, and then I quickly realized there was this huge opportunity with Beachbody. I come from a corporate background, basically like sold my soul to work for a corporate job, left me stressed, left me tired all the time, missing my family. Hey Shane, came home, thought I would, was like stay-at-home mom for a while, but I felt like I also wanted to do something, hey Lisa, that I could, contribute to our family. And frankly, because we went from a 2-income to a 1-income family and I had made a really good income in corporate, my husband had to work all the time. Hey Danielle. So I decided that I was going to do what I could do with this opportunity. And let me tell you, the first year, I was not consistent with power hours, all right? I was like, oh, I'm going to work my business. And then I would sit there and I would scroll Facebook and say I was working my business. And then I would be like, this business doesn't work because I was on Facebook. I'm building my business. I wasn't. I was just scrolling the feed. I wasn't doing productive things. So I decided after dilly-dallying for a year and just kind of all over the place, I decided it's time to get serious because I've got some goals I want to meet and I'm going to meet them. And once I implemented power hours and stuck to them, I was able to build a 6-figure income, insert income disclaimer, and I've been living a very comfortable lifestyle because of Beachbody for a long time. You guys, I am not a one-hit, I'm someone that's been making 6 figures for a while, and all the ladies that you've heard from this week are, have solid businesses, and so we're bringing you our best, and you just take what you need from it. Like, there's the cool part about this business, there's no one way to do this business. There's several different ways you can build this business in terms of your time and like what you're, but the thing that is the same is the vital behaviors. So you should all be doing the vital behaviors. You do your workout, you drink your shake. Okay, you guys, that's for you. You feed your body and you feed your mind. You make sure that, that's PD. So also make sure you're doing your PD. So, you work out. Drink your shake every day. There's no reason you have to eat, so drink your Shakeology, and then make sure you're doing your personal development. Personal development was a big key for me. I listen to personal development. I don't actually count that in my power hour. I'm not one of those people that can listen to a bunch of stuff while I'm doing my power hour. It like distracts me. I'm like seriously like a squirrel. I'm like, what's going on over there? So I have to keep it kind of quiet, and which can be challenging because I have 3 kids. But what I do is I listen to PD in the morning because I feel like it's a great way to start my day. And I also make sure that anytime I'm driving, I'm listening to PD. If I'm at my house and I'm cleaning, I have one earbud in and one out. My kids play like so many activities. You guys, tonight, my poor husband, I'm on here with you guys, and I usually don't work nights, and so he's up driving all 3 around, and being their Uber. So when I'm the mama Uber, I put my earbud in one ear and I've got my PD going. And you guys, it's crucial to your business, so make sure that you are listening to your personal development. So Tonight, I am going to show you how to crush a power hour. My team is full of professionals that are doctors, nurses. I have a lot of people, bank managers, a lot of demanding jobs. So they don't get the opportunity to work their business, their Beachbody business, while they're at work. They actually have to do it in separate times. So I make sure, I see there's other mama Ubers. Yeah, if you've got older kids, you're like a mom Uber. You just don't get paid. So it's crazy. But the cool part is this business, you guys, you can work from anywhere and you just make it work for you, but you have to be intentional. So make sure I'm really efficient with my time, because I don't like wasting time. I worked in corporate. I don't want to sit behind a computer all day. Like, that's not fun. And I don't want to work all day. I like to enjoy my life. I like to play, but I also am really serious about my business. So when I sit down to work my business, it's on. I am not going to be scrolling Facebook or looking on Instagram or on Pinterest or anything like that until my business has been worked. That's my priority. It's how I support my family. So I can't just, be sitting there on Facebook anymore looking at the news feed and saying that I'm working, because that's not true. So here we go, you guys. The first thing that I want to make sure that you guys are doing is posting on social media. So a lot of people, will sit there and they'll spend, 20, 30 minutes crafting the most beautiful post. And that eats in your time, you guys. Don't waste so much time. Yes, you want to put up a post with value, but don't spend all that time. I know that, if you are somebody that's on a time schedule, then you need to be making sure that you're staying on task. So I use a timer. I know most of the coaches that have been on here this week, I'm getting lots of hearts and likes. I love this. Feels so special. I make sure that I live by a timer. I would show it to you, but I'm on my phone. I use my phone. One more thing I'll tell you before we get started is I always put my phone in Do Not Disturb. Here's the deal. I have my favorites. If I have an iPhone, so the way that my phone works is when you have someone in your favorites, they can still get through on a Do Not Disturb. My husband can get through, my teenage son can get through, and then I have younger kids, their school can get through, and my mom and my grandma, because those are the people that I will drop anything and take a call from. Everybody else, they can wait. I get so many texts during the day and random pop-ups that if I check them all, it would literally drive me crazy. So I put my phone in Do Not Disturb so my favorites can still get through, but that way it gives me time to work my business without being distracted by my phone. So I sit down, make sure you find a spot. Now, people, I don't know, if you have an office, or I have an office now, but I didn't when I started. I actually worked on my sofa with a toddler and a baby, and then another kid running around like a crazy person, because I started when my kids were little. Sometimes I would, go, if my husband was home, I'd go sit in my car and work in my car because I could still get Wi-Fi from the driveway. I've actually spent time in, I travel a ton, my family and I do. We go to Europe, we go all over, and I've worked all over. As long as you have Wi-Fi, you can work your business, so there's no excuse. But don't think you have to have everything set up perfect. I think a lot of times we feel like it has to be perfect, but truly it doesn't. Now I do have a nice office and I'm kind of oh, I still want to go work on the couch or I work in my car. It's just whatever works, because I may work my power hour. I take my son out to soccer practice and I'll bring my stuff with me. I usually work from my phone or my laptop, and then I'll sit in the car and work my business and wait for him to finish his practice. We live in Oregon, so it's usually raining, and he doesn't care if I watch his practice. In fact, the coaches don't really like that. So I'll just sit there and work my business in my car, and it's super comfortable because I like my car. So anyway, those are just some quick tips for you. But first thing, you need to post on social media. So if you're running your business on Facebook and Instagram, which I know most of you are, that's what I run my business on. I built my business on Facebook, but I've implemented Instagram. I love Instagram now, but I started old school with just Facebook. And so what you need to do is you make sure that you're putting up a post, and you don't need to put up a ton of posts. Like if you're posting all day long on your Facebook, it's not a good thing. But do put up a good post with quality, but don't spend a bunch of time on it, stressing yourself out about doing those perfect posts. Just make sure that, what would you like to see? So when you put your post up on social media, think about, like, there's tons of information in the Beachbody Champions page, by the way, on how to craft a post, but think about like what you would want to hear when you were looking for, what you would want to hear from someone that you were looking for coaching you, but you don't know you want to be coached yet. So I always think about like my target market, my avatar. It's usually someone like me, a mom that's just, living, chaotically. Usually my person has 2 to 5 kids, because I have 3, and you kind of fall into that area where most of the people I attract have 2 to 5 kids. Some have more. And so they're busy moms, and they don't have a lot of time to read a post that's like this long. Like I never do. I'm always like, I start and then I'm like, wait, what was I just reading? So, make sure you get to the point, and then put up a nice picture with it. So we're going to get started with that. And I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes to post on Facebook or Instagram, or if you're fast, you can do both. And don't worry, I'll post up my list. I'm a very simple coach. Like, I run a very simple business. I'm not high tech. I'm not super fancy, but I am very, very efficient with my time. That is something I bring to the table. I work 15 to 20 hours a week. I've never worked more than 20 hours a week, and I'm considered a full-time coach because that's the way Beachbody has allowed me to set up this amazing life, and that's how I've set mine up. But when I sit down to work those 15 to 20 hours, I am on it. I am not wasting time, and that's why I can get away with those hours. So go ahead and get started. Pop up a post on your social media, and I'm going to be quiet. So I'm going to check the questions and make sure that I'm answering all of your questions. But I want you guys to walk away from this call with a very solid power hour. I want you to see that you've got something going. What if you already posted today? If you did already post and you're not due for another post, then why don't you just craft your post for tomorrow? And that way you've got something for tomorrow, or you can have something in your, back pocket, like an emergency post. So I'm starting the timer right now, you guys. So pop up a post. I'm going to give you 5 minutes, but what I like to do is if I think of something, I take the note section on my phone. I literally work from my phone. Like, I know a lot of people have trackers and all types of things. Yeah, you can do any kind of post. It can be a post about, hey, Lindsay. It can be a post about your workout. Remember when you're posting on your social media, you don't want to be all Beachbody. Like, you actually don't even want to mention that. But you could be like, man, I am so glad I did my workout early this morning, because my evenings are crazy chaotic, and I'm glad that I was able to do that this morning, get that done, and I feel like I've had so much energy today, and I feel really good about myself, because my energy's through the roof, and I can be a mama Uber, something like that. Or maybe it's early here. It's still only like 6 o'clock. I know where most of you are. It's 9 p.m. Maybe you could post something motivational that speaks to you. A lot of times if I'm feeling like, like I'm struggling with something, I feel like I am going, sorry, now I'm looking at all the comments and getting distracted. That's me. If I'm struggling with something, let's say that like I'm feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling very, overwhelmed. Then I'll go in Google and I'll search like inspirational quotes or motivational quotes. Or maybe I'm struggling with like just feeling like I'm not doing a good enough job for my kids or something like that. And then I'll go Google something that's motivational for that. I'll flip it positive. I flip everything positive. I am definitely that person that can make like some of the worst situations you know, I can look at the positive side of it. So you can do something like that. Just don't overthink it. You could even take a picture of like, you know, what you had for dinner. You know, whatever you want, what speaks to you, what would be interesting to you. The key is not to overthink it, and not to like, you know, sit there and spend your whole power hour trying to craft a perfect post, unless you have that kind of time. I just don't, and I like to get things done fast. So go ahead, you've got like 1 more minute to get a post up, and I'm gonna check. Somebody said, I only have 1 hour a day. I feel like I'm not getting anywhere. Well, it depends what you do with that 1 hour, because I've got lots of coaches on my team that also have that schedule and are only able to do like 45 minutes to an hour, but they're very consistent and they do it, you know, they do it 5 times a week, and they're hitting Success Club and they're making a decent income. And it's just consistency over time, you guys. I didn't like magically implement these power hours and then like all of a sudden my income just shot up. It takes time, but it's that focused time and being consistent, and then you will see the benefits to that. I heard from a mentor of mine the other day that like 90% of the work has been done by the time you hit the results. So that means that you're, you know, you're doing the work right now, and it seems like maybe you're not getting anywhere, but you will. And the key is making sure, like if you're a new coach, that you're hitting Success Club. You're helping 3 people each month. You want to start with that as your goal, and you know, you need to do what you need to do to get there. So we'll go through the power hour, and hopefully this will help you, Shelly, with those 1 hour, because I know that can be hard. I have a lot of coaches in a similar situation, and I myself was in a, you know, similar situation when I started my business, and I wanted freedom of time. I was tired of, you know, not owning my time. I wanted to own my time. I didn't want it to be owned by someone else. So I totally get that, but implement a really good solid power hour and you should see benefits from it. All right, so you should have your post up on social media, so Facebook and Instagram. And if you don't know, like Instagram, make sure you check out Tawnya Jackson did they did the Instagram training the other day on here, and it is gold. So I would check that out. I was like, whoa, that was awesome. So, you know, she definitely knows what she's doing when it comes to Instagram. So check that out. The next thing I want you to do is send happy birthday messages. So we're gonna take 5 minutes and send happy birthday messages, and all I do is, you know, whatever sounds like you. I'm like, hey Sarah, happy birthday, I hope you have a great day. Do you have any fun birthday plans? And question mark. And you always want to end with a question mark. Or you could say, hey Sarah, I see it's your birthday. I just wanted to hop on here and wish you a happy birthday. How are you? Whatever sounds like you. If you found out that, you know, you were at the grocery store and like the clerk was like, yeah, today's my birthday, what would you say to her? You know, to engage in a conversation. So go ahead and do that. And if you don't have any birthdays, that's okay. You can even hop on if you know, and look at the birthdays for tomorrow and say, hey Sarah, I see it's your birthday tomorrow. Do you have any fun plans? Just always be thinking of how you can best use your time. And so that's what I would do. Yeah, you want to do a private message, not a message on their wall, because they're going to get like 300 to 500 messages on their wall and they're not going to see yours. But if you get a private message, it's going to mean a lot. Most of the time they're like, oh my gosh, Tawnya, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to wish me a happy birthday. And then they'll tell me about their birthday, and then we start getting into connection call. And, you know, it's like, it's awesome. And so that's what I would recommend, is sending a private message to them. So I'm going to give you just a couple minutes to go ahead and send birthday messages. These are really good. And you may not have birthdays every day, but when you do, make sure you're sending them. And if you don't work, like let's say you don't work on Saturdays and, you know, or something like that, then make sure you do those birthdays on the day you are working. Say, hey, I see it's your birthday this weekend. I just want to wish you a happy birthday. So, Where do you see the birthdays? You can go to events on Facebook and you can see their birthdays because it should show the upcoming birthdays. Or if you're looking on your computer, they should come up like right on the side. It'll say whose birthdays there are. Aw, thanks, Rebecca. You love my power hours. You've been on my power hour calls before. This is awesome. So yes, and private message, you guys. All right, I'm going to give you just a couple more minutes. Let's see here. Sorry, I have to run a computer and a phone at the same time. I just did not want to have any glitches tonight with you guys. I want you guys to feel accomplished when you're done with this call. All right. Awesome. I wish I could play music, but it violates Facebook. So we're going to have awkward silence. Awesome. You guys are finished. Yeah, let me know when you're done. Moving my phone over. Alrighty. Okay, you guys should be done with your birthday. Some days you'll have a lot of birthdays. Some days you won't have any. Some days you have one. The other thing I will tell you about the birthdays, I should be able. Yeah, you can come back. This is the Lindsay just asked if you can come back and watch this, and yes, you can. So you can use whatever power hour resonated with you. Keisha did an awesome one. Shane did an awesome one. I'm doing one tonight. And then Lauren will be running tomorrow's. And just pick the one that resonated with you. Or if you like to switch it up, do them all. But you can play it while you are doing your power hour, and it will help you learn how to do a power hour and also keep you on track. And if you didn't watch Danielle Natoni's video from Monday, she talks about how to set yourself up for success with power hours and why they're important. So make sure if you have not seen that, you go back and watch that. All right. The next thing we're going to do is add to our network. So you can do this on Instagram or Facebook. Sorry, I don't know Snapchat. So yeah, I can't help you there. But what I like to do is you can alternate Facebook and Instagram, or whichever one you're building on, whether one or the other, or alternate days. So what I do to add to the network is spending 5 to 10 minutes, and I look for my target market people. So I look for my target market, like I explained before. I have it pretty nailed down, but you want to think about who your ideal customer is. And it's not somebody, everybody wants to get in shape or lose weight. That's not, you want to get really specific. Who are they? Are they married? Are they single? How old are they? Where do they hang out? What are they interested in? Do they have kids? Do they have dogs? Do they have cats? Like what are they all about? And that way you'll be able to but don't get like too hung up on it. It'll come to you as you're working your business, and you'll but definitely you want to be looking for that person. So what I do is let me start with Facebook. So with Facebook, I go on there and I look at friends of friends. So I have a friend that I admire that's not a Beachbody coach, you guys. Don't go on there friending other Beachbody coaches, friends, because that's tacky and it lacks integrity and it's not a great way to build a business. And people that do that are usually not successful. So that's me on my soapbox. But so what you want to do is I'll, look at a friend that that I admire, and somebody I want to hang out with. And because then I probably want to hang out with her people. You guys, we are business owners. You no longer have to work with people you don't want to work with. Like when you get those customers that are nasty, rude for no reason, or just hate life, and you're at your regular job, you have to put up with that. You have to put up with the Debbie Downer that's sitting next to you that is bringing your day down because they complain about everything. Yeah, at your job you do, but not in this business. So work with people you want to work with. if somebody doesn't jive with you, you're going to end up frustrated. So make sure, that you look for your people. That doesn't mean they're bad people, just some personalities don't click. But you want to look for your people. So I look at, the friend, like who I want to hang out with, who I would like, if invited me to a party, I'd actually really want to go and wouldn't feel like obligated. And then I look at their friends and I look at their friends list and I'll friend some people off of that. And I aim to do 10, okay? So I do like 10 at a time. If you're crazy requesting people like on Facebook, you're going to get in trouble. And you're not, you want to make sure that, you don't do too many at one time. You're like 50 friends and then Facebook's like, sorry, you cannot friend any more people. So make sure that you, I do, you can do 10 to 20. I usually aim for 10 because that's what I know will fit into the 5 to 10 minutes. You can also join groups. So like groups of interest groups. So there's parenting groups. If you're, pregnant, like a lot of, people are right now, you can join like a mom to be one. I'm in a Lhasa Apso group. I have him, he's sitting right under my chair right now. He's 1.5 and I joined some of those groups and and we post like cute pictures of our dogs. It's actually really fun and I'm totally interested in that group. I have other coaches that are into hiking. They join hiking groups. And so that's what I do for my Facebook is I'll join those groups and then I'll see people and I'm like, hey, we should be friends and I'll friend request them. You could also, anybody, that you meet out in person, like my husband and I, we're like taking dance lessons right now. Hey, talk about freedom of time, you guys. We take dance lessons on Tuesdays at 2:00 because we have freedom of time. So it's really cool. So what we do, if we meet someone and we're like, hey, are you on Facebook? Let's connect. I will actually hand them my phone. I'll pull up Facebook, hand them my phone and have them friend from there. And they will friend request me. So that's another trick I've learned. And you guys, I have signed up many coaches in lines at Starbucks and all different places that I've met. And they're some of my good friends now. So don't be afraid. If you're on Instagram, the way that you friend people is you can go in there, search a hashtag in the search column and, like a hashtag that interests you. So like Mama 3, that's kind of a general one, but I'm just saying, or if you're like into tattoos, you could do something about that. Just think of the hashtags that speak to you, like that you would search if you went to Instagram, and then go look at those people. And I would just follow the people that you are interested in. The other thing that you can do is go to someone that's on Instagram that's not a Beachbody coach. Maybe it's like a makeup person or something like that, or you're into fashion and you're following someone and you really like their page. Well, you can start following those, some of their followers, like go check out their followers and see who they are. And if they've got, and just start following some of those people. But that's what I do. So I'm going to give you guys about 5 to 7 minutes to go ahead and do that right now. And I see I've got some questions. So I just talked about the Instagram, and then Carmela asked, should we ask our friend if they're okay with us? No, just friend them. Don't overthink it. You guys, when you start overthinking in this business, it's when you're not going to see success and you're going to start wasting time. And I will say that it depends on what your intention is with this business. So if you're like worried about being icky or salesy, then it depends what your intentions are. My intention is to build a community of women that is helping other women. I am so sick and tired of like women, other women bashing other women, or women, having their self-confidence in the toilet like I did. in being in these communities that are not supportive. And so what I have done with my business is to help women get in the best shape physically, mentally, and financially that they can. I'm helping women do that. And so that's why I don't feel bad about friending random people or talking to people at Starbucks that I think are people I want to be friends with. And because I go into it with that intention, then it doesn't come off that way. But if I went into that intent, if I went in and I'm like, oh, I wonder if I could sell a challenge pack to this person, there's 2 successful points right there. Then yeah, it would be kind of slimy. So just make sure you check what's your intention with this business, who do you want to help, and why do you want to help them? And once you have that, then really, you can go, it sets you free. Like, you have that passion. Like, you guys, this business is amazing. Like, it's inspiring, it's motivational, it's a passionate business, and you can really set it up to be whatever you want. So figure out what it is you want and who you want to help, and then you don't feel bad for that. So, Lori asks, when you look at someone's profile on Instagram and it's private, do you still follow them? Yeah. So I would follow them, and then you can see if they follow you back. And if they don't, but usually they'll follow you back. So it's okay. So that's what I do with my Instagram. I also look on Instagram, and I'll look at, what people are commenting. Like, if they're commenting on somebody's page I like, and if I think they're interesting, that's another way you can follow people. But you guys, I'm fairly new to Instagram in terms of, like I said, I built primarily on Facebook. I do get coaches and challengers now from Instagram, but it is like I'm learning as I go. And so I watch all the trainings that they put up for Instagram right now in this page. But yeah, I'd still follow them. All right, you guys, where are we at time-wise? Do I track who I friend? No, I don't, because then I would be writing a lot of people down. I used to when I first started, but then it just became too much. So what I do is I'll go through my Facebook once a week, and if there's outstanding friend requests, so let's say I sent a friend request and they didn't accept it, and it's been 3 to 5 days, I will actually cancel it. But you can track people. If you're somebody that wants to track it, then go ahead. But I don't, because the other thing you can do is you can see who your new friends are. Facebook will show you all of that, and then Instagram shows you who follows you. And so I'm really more interested in that, but it's totally your preference. I'm a pen and paper girl, so if you're looking, I know I have a lot of coaches on my team that use Teamsy. A lot of them use trackers. I have this really fancy spiral notebook and a pen. So I am the least I wish I had some fancy system, but I don't, and I built a 6-figure business. So, but other people have built 6-figure businesses with a fancy tracker system. It's just not my personality. But I think it's Keisha does Google, and I was like, that's really cool. But I just don't. I still use my pen and paper, which I've used for a long time. Yeah, Shane's laughing at me because she's totally the track. She's on it. But yeah, I'm pen and paper. All right, you guys, I'm just gonna give you a few more minutes to get that done. Yeah, Shane's like, I have the same system, and oh yeah, I'm seeing all my people, my pen and paper people. So, all right, you guys. Let's see here. Lisa said, do you friend people from other countries? I'm maxed out and they never... Okay, so what I would do is I would start unfriending people. So I would go through and unfriend people that aren't messaging you and aren't... your avatar. I would start unfriending, actually. And you actually don't, you want to make sure that you leave friend request for those people. The like pages is a whole other call, you guys, but that, you know, the way those are ran, you can go in here and I'm sure there's a training on it, totally different. But yeah, most people, they get on Facebook and they want to connect, and then the like pages is being really weird right now. Like I have over 10,000 on my like page, and not everybody sees it because just the Facebook algorithms right now are not friendly to like pages. Don't freak out, everybody. I still get people on my like page, but I would actually just, if I was Max, I would start unfriending. And I've done that before. I brought my friends list way down. So during your friend request time, I would just unfriend 10 people and then friend 10 new people. So it might take you a little bit of time, but yeah, I hope that helps, Lisa. And I don't friend people. I only friend people, US, Canada, and the UK. And I only friend like my avatars, unless it's like my kids' teachers or like a friend, like another family member, a friend of mine or something like that. But other than that, like, I don't. Okay, Dustin asked, how long do you wait before inviting them to a challenge group after the first initial? We'll get into that. Hold on, we're getting there. I definitely wouldn't friend request them and then send them an invite. That's tacky. So friend them and then start getting it going. Oh, thanks, Lisa. Okay. All right, so I hope you all added 10 people to your network, and you can do it on Facebook or Instagram. Just pick one and then alternate the days. So like Monday and Wednesday are Facebook days, Tuesdays and Thursdays are Instagram days. Or if you have time to do both and to friend on both platforms, then do it. Friend and follow. Okay. The next thing I want you guys to do is, this is where it gets good, and this is the important stuff. We're going to do relationship building. We are going to send 10 messages, or you're going to do comments on photos by asking questions. So what you want to do is you're going to go ahead and hop on your Facebook or Instagram. And I find it's better just to stay on one platform at a time and then move to the next platform instead of like toggling back and forth. You can also, so like I'll do Facebook and then Instagram, or Instagram and then Facebook, whatever you need to do, or alternate days, but don't try to do it, toggling back and forth, because I think that can get confusing. Also, if you don't have Flume, Flume for your laptop or your desktop for Instagram, that's super helpful because you can read the messages on that on your computer. So but I do a lot from my phone. I'm a big phone. I have the 7 Plus. It's huge and I can see everything on it, so I use that most of the time. So here's where with relationship building, aim to send the 10 messages. You can thank new followers on Instagram. If they've made comments on your photos, you can say, hey, thank you so much for the love on my photo. Whatever, or if they liked it, whatever you want to do. But I would send 10 messages, people that cross your mind. A lot of times we think of someone, we're like, gosh, I haven't heard from Katie in like a couple months. I wonder how she's doing. Send her a message. She didn't just cross your mind like just because. She crossed your mind for a reason. So I would get on there and send her a message. And so a lot of times I do that, and then it comes into a big, conversation. But I just send them a message and I'll look at their page to see how they're doing. And yeah, that can take a little bit of time, you guys, but I can usually do 10 in 10 minutes. So I'm going to give you guys 10 minutes and I'm going to walk you through it. But go on to like Facebook or Instagram, and Instagram, I would thank new followers. I'd just be like, hey girl, thank you so much for the follow. My name is Tawnya Landis. It's awesome to connect with you on here. You have whatever you want to say, whatever sounds like you. You can be like, I'm a mom of 3. I'm really into health and fitness. Whatever you want. Are you into health and fitness too? Like whatever you want to do, whatever sounds like you, but I always end with a question, because otherwise there's nothing for them to send you, and they'll just send you like a thumbs up, or an emoji or something like that. So I always end with a question. And Shane provided a lot of really good messages yesterday that you can use, in during her power hour, she put the documents up in there, and so you can use those as well. But I just send something simple and say, hey, thanks for the follow. My name is Tawnya Landis, mom of 3. I really love health and fitness. Are you on a health and fitness journey too? And then a question mark. But make it your own. Make it sound like you. And then you can do that on Instagram with your new followers. The other thing that you can do is you can look at anybody that's commenting on your thing, and you can go to their profile and start commenting on their pictures, liking some of their pictures. Don't be like creepy stalker, but maybe do like 2 or 3 and just start, engaging and ask a question. You can be like, gosh, I love your shoes. Where did you get them? Or your hair looks amazing. Where did you get it done? Like whatever, you would ask someone, but you just want to make sure that you ask them a question to engage in a conversation. So that's how you can start building relationship and rapport with people instead of just sending them an invite right away. So make sure that you go in and do that now. So that's what I do. And then on Facebook, what I do is I go look at new friends. So it'll say you can go under the friends and you can search newly added friends, and you can look at your newly added friends, and the ones I'll just go in and I'll be like, hey Sarah, I see that you're a mom of 2. I have 3 kids. How old are your kids? And it's so great to connect with you on here. However you want to do that, but go ahead and send 10 messages and don't overthink it. A lot of times, remember, we overthink it, and then that paralyzes us and we don't get anywhere with our business. So go in and go ahead and send 10 messages, and just doing a time check here. We'll give you 5 minutes. So do as many as you can. I know I'm talking a lot. Sorry about that, but I kind of want to make sure that you understand fully what to do. But normally what I would do is I'd set 10 minutes aside and I would send 10 messages or start commenting on photos. All right, so I'll give you a few minutes here and then look at, I see there's I'll leave time for questions, don't worry. I can stay a little bit longer. My kids are out with my poor husband. All right, 1 second here. Let's see here. All right, so go ahead and do those messages. See here. Lisa asked about starting a second profile. No, I still just have one profile page. But I don't really know very many coaches that have more than one. I have a profile on Facebook, and then one on Instagram, and I've been fine with that. I would just unfriend people. Like if you have that many friends and they're not all your customers and clients, then I would start unfriending. If you just because otherwise, you're not going to have the space for new people and prospects. Yeah, you want to get more room because it actually, and I'm not a social media guru, but a lot of the gurus say it's bad to be maxed right now. Like it's actually not a good thing. So I would just start unfriending people that aren't your clients, customers, and that's what I would do. And I brought my friends list way down recently. I had a lot of people on there that were not my avatar, were not my target market. I never talked to them, and they just, it didn't make sense. And that's what I would do. I would start cleaning out. But you can talk to your coach about that. I don't know who your upline is, but maybe talk to them because they might do things differently. That's just what I've always done. But I think managing more than one profile would be a pain. So that's what I do for mine. All right. So I'm going to give you guys a few more minutes here. Because then we're going to get into the good stuff, invites. But the relationship, Yeah, most aren't customers. Yeah, then I would get them off I would just, it's nothing personal. Or if they would make good customers, then start building relationships with them. I just can't, I just make sure, like, I love Facebook and I love Instagram, but at the end of the day, social media is my business. And even my personal page, I don't go throwing, Beachbody this, Beachbody that up on it. But everything I do on social media is with intention. You guys, when I post videos exactly. When I post videos for my, up there for like my family, like I'll do like my daughter's concert, I actually have my family, like my mom, my dad, and my in-laws, and like my brother and his wife in like a friends list thing, which Shane talked about and did a little video on yesterday, and it just goes to them. So but everything I do, my brand is me. It's not Beachbody. I love Beachbody. It's part of what I do, but my brand is me. I'm a mom of 3. I'm a wife who adores her husband. I love traveling. I'm a total foodie. And I also am into health and fitness, but at the end of the day, that's not what I'm, that's not all I post about. I don't just do a bunch of workout selfies and like, posts of shakes. I'm very intentional with what I do. I talk about my travels. I talk about my crazy kids that keep me on my toes. I brand me. And because that's why people come to me, because if I was just throwing up posts all the time of shakes and workouts, they might as well go to Amazon or go to the Beachbody website and just get assigned to whoever. They need to know what kind of person I am so that when I coach them, I've got that rapport with them. If you think about it, think about people that you admire on your social media. Like those people, when you see their posts and you're like, I would really like to be friends with that girl. Like, she seems great. She seems like the type of person that would be there for me if I needed her, like with my workouts. She'd be the type of person that wouldn't give up on me. That's who I am. And that's what I want my potential customers and coaches to know about me, because it's important to me. That's a big thing. So that's what I do. Somebody said, I have a friend who said people who are selling things should not do it from their personal page. It's irritating to people to have their feed filled with such posts. And I can't see the whole comment because I'm on my phone here. Sorry. Okay. That's why you want to build your brand. It's about you. That's why you don't want to throw up like stock photos of Shakeology. You don't want to throw stock photos up of 80 Day Obsession. You don't want to throw pictures that, of like just Tony Horton doing a workout, even though he's totally awesome. But that's because you're not a store. You're you. You need, it's branding 101. I know Beachbody Champions Group has a branding video on here. But you want to make sure that's why, like, pick 5 things that are you and talk about those things on your Facebook. So are you somebody that has kids? Is that part of your brand? Are you someone that's really into dogs? Like, post about that. Are you really into your cats? Are you into traveling? Are you in, what are you into? And let people know, because it's your whole brand. Are you into fashion? Are you into makeup? Like all those things. And then, that's what you want to be letting people know about you. And then they feel like they know you. So when you invite them to be a customer, then they trust you because they feel like they know you. Like, I meet people all the time that follow me on social media and they're like, gosh, and I've never met them in person. And they feel like they know me because they follow me. And I'm very authentic about who I am on my brand. So, all right. So you guys we're going to go ahead and get into invites, and I will go back and get these questions answered because there's a lot of questions in here, about profile pages and like pages and things like that. And, I use my personal profile. I have a business page. Like I said at the beginning of the call, the Facebook algorithms are all changing. And so I would definitely, what I'm telling you to do now is it's on your personal page. And that's why I'm saying don't post stock pictures and don't be Amazon on there, okay? Alrighty, guys. All right, so we did our 10 relationship building messages. I hope you guys got those done. So by now you should have your happy birthday messages out. You should have added 10 people to your Instagram or your Facebook, sent 10 messages or commented on 10 photos by asking questions and that don't have anything to do with Beachbody. The next thing you want to do, and this is really important, is you're going to send invites. Now you should have an invite from your upline or from an invite guide, or I will provide one here in just a second for you. But I want you, what I do is I block out 15 minutes during my power hour. I'm not going to give you guys 15 minutes tonight, sorry, because I don't want to run you guys over. I know you East Coasters probably need to go to bed, but what I do is I block out 15 minutes and I invite 20 to 25 people, and I do that twice a week. And then what I do is I alternate follow-ups. So I will send 20 to 25 follow-ups, and I will do that 15 minutes, and I'll do that twice a week. So what I do is you can pick 2 days. So like Monday and Wednesday are invite days, Tuesday and Thursday are follow-up days, however you want to do it. But if you're doing 20 to 25 people, then you've got 40 to 50 invites out that week and 40 to 50 follow-ups out that week. Super simple. And that's how I do mine. I like to batch things instead of doing a little bit at a time. I like to just batch it on those days, and I get in a groove with the invites and the follow-ups, and then it just flows. So that's what works for me really well. And like I said, a lot of my coaches are busy and they don't have jobs where they can be, sending messages at work. So right now I want you to send, why don't we go for 5 to 10 invites, like do as many as you can, and don't overthink, who you're inviting, because it's always the people that you think are going to say no that say yes, and the people that say no, you're shocked. You're like, what? I thought you would say yes. It's always, you cannot predict it. It's like, it's like shaking a magic ball and like trying to guess. So just invite people. I always think of it this way. If you struggle with inviting, what if you were having this incredible party and you invited people, but you left people off, and they're people you care about, and then they find out that you didn't invite them? How would they feel, and how would you feel? They would feel like, why didn't you invite me? I look at my challenge groups as a big, awesome party, and I want to invite people, and I'm not going to leave people out that I care about. So I just invite them, and then it's up to them. Whenever they say no, it's not about me, it's about them. But at least I've done my due diligence and invited them. Also, everybody usually says no in the beginning, and it takes follow-ups, like the powers in the follow-up. I will say 99.9% of my Success Club points come from following up. So right now, I want you guys to go ahead and send 5 to 10 messages. They're going to be invites, and you can do them on Facebook Messenger or on Instagram Direct Messenger, whichever platform you're on right now. Go ahead and send messages, and these are people you've already connected with, and you have somewhat of a rapport. It doesn't have to be a ton of rapport, but it's not like a cold, totally, I just friended you like 5 minutes ago and now I'm going to send you an invite. It's not that. So it's people you've already like been in contact with. They're people that maybe liked your last post that you put up. Maybe you put up they watched your stories on Instagram, and you can send them an invite. You can be like, hey Sarah, I saw that you liked my photo of my workout. I just wanted to say thanks. The support means a lot to me. I wanted to actually invite you to my next Fit and Fab challenge group. I'm making this up, you guys, because if you have an invite that works, use it. My next Fit and Fab challenge group that's starting up, I think that you would fit in really well. Would that be something you'd be interested in learning more about? ? So that's an invite that you can use. Make it your own, but I'm sure you guys all have an invite that you can use. Just make sure with invites that they're not like a mile long, because you think about it, most people are reading it on their phone, and if they're like me, they are not going to read something that's super long. Like I won't read it. So 1 second here. So go ahead and send some invites. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. We are going to run just a couple minutes over, but we should be pretty close. I started a little bit late with all the talking. Sorry about that. So go ahead and get those invites out. Shane posted one up yesterday in the Power Hour document. That's awesome. She said, "Hey Brooke, I hope you're having an awesome day. I wanted to reach out real fast. Not sure if you're looking for help at all with your health and fitness, but I have this awesome 30-day support and accountability group kicking off in a week. Would you be interested in the details? I still have space for one more. And you can, just send something like that." So Carmela says, "Oh no, I totally sent out a long invite to 8 people this evening." You know what? It's okay. We all have. Like, I go back and look at some of the messages and I'm like, oh jeez. But you guys, like, don't sweat it. This is a very forgiving business. So it's okay. Like, don't stress about it. Another thing, you guys, that I do is I'll do voice memos. And if you haven't done the voice memos on Facebook, they're awesome. So you get into your messenger and you click on the microphone and it only gives you 1 minute. So it's really good for people like me that like to talk a lot. And I can just verbally invite them. And it's really awesome. And people are always like, "Oh my gosh, I love hearing your voice." And that's another way you can do it. But don't worry about it. Like, we all have sent those long messages and it's okay. Like, don't stress about it. But I like to keep them super short just because that way then when they read it, it's all on the phone. And also they're not, because like you guys remember, it's someone like me who is not going to read a long thing. So, are your challengers always new clients? Well, no. I mean, all my Success Club points are new people. I always bring new people in every single month, but I have really high retention with my challengers. So a lot of times challengers want to stay with me. I have a lot of challengers that have been with me for the whole time I've been a coach. And they're not interested in the coaching business, but they just want to be part of the community that we've built together. So yeah, but I always aim to bring new people because I always hit Success Club. I don't miss Success Club. So, all right, you guys. I'm going to give you guys some time to send those invites. But send them out. Don't think about them. Just do it. And that's what I love about the timer. You're welcome. I love about having a timer is because it makes me do it. I don't overthink it. Because I would sit down when I was like first started and I'm like, I think I'm going to throw up. I don't want to send an invite. But then when I implemented the timer, I was like, oh, I don't have time for that. I got to send these invites. So I don't have that feeling anymore. I actually love inviting because I know where the process leads. And I'm sure glad that somebody invited me. You guys, I was invited by my coach randomly. I met her at a dance class that our daughters were taking. My daughter was a toddler at the time. And she sat down and started talking to me, and I was drinking my daily Diet Dr. Pepper. It was my second one of the day. I drink them back to back, you guys. And I was eating Cheez-Its and wearing yoga pants, but I was not doing yoga. But you guys, I was like, I had my third child. I was overwhelmed. I wanted to get in shape, but I was so like overwhelmed with all the information that was out there that I didn't even know where to start. And she just started talking to me and asking me about myself. She did the connection in person, and then she invited me to join, and I told her no for 3 months, and she kept following up with me, and I finally said yes. And now we're really good friends, and I am so grateful that she never gave up on me because this is like the most incredible opportunity. All right, guys, so just a few more minutes for those invites. How are those invites? Oh, Teresa said a few weeks ago, I tried to send a batch invite. I meant to send them separately, but it went as a group. All 10 were in one invite out. Oh, Teresa, I'm so sorry. That stinks. I've actually sent the wrong name before, if that makes you feel better. And spelled words wrong. So, we all have done that, you guys. Like, and if people get ticked about it, then that's their deal. Like, sorry. I like, it was like, I've done stuff like that and I'm like, oh no. But yeah, just sometimes like you just got to be on there, and once you get in the groove, like laser focused, and then you're like, you know, okay, I can do this. Like copying the invite but changing the name. Don't forget to change the name, or you can do like, hey girl, if that's how you are. I do like putting the name in because I think it personalizes it a little bit more, and that's the kind of person that I am. But you can do either. So, alrighty. Let's see here. A couple more minutes. So, like I said, you can alternate your invites and your follow-ups so that you get in the groove and you can batch them. And that should make your life a little bit easier, because the way I break this down, it is exactly 60 minutes. So you can do all 60 minutes at once. You can break it into 20 minutes. You can break it into 30 minutes, however you need to do it to fit your life. But I'll post this under here, and you know, it is something that you guys can follow if it resonates with you. I'm super simple and I live by my phone timer and I work off my phone. So I guess, as Carmela said, I guess we are on the learning stage, and sometimes that's the scariest part. Thank you so much. Yes, you guys, we are all learning. You're gonna make mistakes. I still make mistakes, and I've been a coach for 6 years. It's just part of the process with anything in life. But you make a mistake and you learn. It's an opportunity. It's not an end. I always look at like mistakes I made. Remember, I look at everything in the positive. But I look at the mistakes and I'm like, oh my gosh, how can I, what can I learn from this? My husband always says, what's the treasure in it? And so I always look at what the treasure is in what I'm doing. So if I make a mistake, I'll say, all right, what can I do next time? And that's, that's what I take from it, because otherwise it can paralyze us. And I've let that happen before. And if I would have let that happen in this business, I would not be where we are today. Like I could sit here and talk to you guys for hours about how Beachbody's changed our lives. But truly, like, take your mistakes and be like, all right, what am I going to do differently? So 1 second here. Oh, Lauren said, thank you for coming on. This has been so helpful for me. Love your genuine approach. Oh, thank you. That means a lot. Thank you for that. You're welcome. All right. So you've got your invites, you've got your follow-ups, and then what I do is I spend a little bit of time. I check into my groups, my challenge tracker groups, and I make a post in there. And I usually do this right after I work out. So I'll do my workout and then I'll do my posts of my, I've got my Shakeology that I drink pre-workout because I'm on the Time Nutrition for 80-Day Obsession. And then I've got my workout photos. So I usually do those right after. And then I check into my, my tracker app group and make sure that everybody's doing good. And then I go on my team page on Facebook and I post in there and kind of see what's going on. I spend no more than 10 minutes because otherwise you can just get sucked in. It's another thing you get sucked into. So make sure that you're obviously servicing your clients and they're getting, what they need. But that time I just make sure that I'm checking into the group and doing my post so that they see I'm present in there. I pre-schedule my posts into the challenge tracker. So I post in real time my workout and my Shakeology, but I load all the posts with the challenge tracker. In the app, it's got the guides, so you can actually just copy and paste them all over. It's really cool. And then Wednesday's my challenger check-in day, so every Wednesday I go in and send check-in messages to all my challengers. And that's what I love the tracker app for, because I used to have to go on Facebook, find them, individually message them all, or text them, and now I have it, I send it all through the app. And I let them know, hey, I'm going to be checking in with you on Wednesday, and you better send me a message back. So they're like, okay. So they know that, hey, that's Challenger, I'm going to be checking in with you. And so that's what I do. All right, let's see, did we get everything? And then the one last thing I do is I do not check messages or email during my power hour, because that is a black hole that will take up the whole time. What I do with my messages and my email is I set aside 2 blocks each of 10 minutes, and sometimes 3 blocks depending on how bad the email is. But I'll go through and I'll just triage my messages on Facebook and Instagram. By triage, what I mean is I look for people that are new clients, new prospects, new coaches, their messages get answered first. Then I check my coaches that are working their businesses, they get next, and then it's like everyone else. And you guys, I have a ton of messages and I'm able to get through them that way very, very fast. And if something that I need to come back to, I'll write it down and make sure I come back to it. But that's what I do. And sometimes I'll send them, like I find for me, it's easier for me to voice memo most people back rather than trying to send written messages. So do what works for you. I scheduled to do that. I drop my kids, I have to drive them to school. I sit in the parking lot and I'll do my 10 minutes of messages right there. And then when I pick them up from school, and when I'm sitting, I'll get to carpool 10 minutes early and I'll do my messages then. A lot of people do it on their breaks at work. You could do it at your, whatever those time blocks are, but make sure you set a timer so that you're not like spending 30 to 60 minutes on messages at one time, because that can eat up a lot of your power hour. And I do them last, so I don't actually answer messages as they're coming in while I'm on there sending invites and connections and things like that, because I need to get those done. Those need to be done. And I've tried it where I've like responding to people and then I'm like, oh, I did nothing. And I'm so frustrated. I like to get my list done and then I can move on. I'm a list person. That's why I will be posting my list because that's how I work. And I have the list. I keep it in my iPhone. Like I said, I'm a total iPhone girl and it helps me stay on track. So that's what I do to make sure that I get everything done. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. Again, let me, just to run through this, make sure you're posted on social media. It takes like 5 minutes. Your happy birthday messages, 5 minutes. Some days you'll have more, some days you'll have less. Add to your network. You can alternate Instagram and Facebook. But, I would spend 5 to 10 minutes. Relationship building, send at least 10 messages or comment on photos by asking questions. That 10 minutes. Invite 15 minutes, and you're going to alternate your invites and your follow-ups and invite 20 to 25 people at a time and then follow up with 20 to 25 people. You always have people to follow up with if you're sending invites. If you're not sending invites and you're like, oh, I have no one to follow up with, how many invites did you send? And then make sure that you're checking in with your challenge group and you're posting in there, and you're also checking your team page. So if you run your own team page, you're checking that. If you're in your uplines page, just check that for news. And then just don't spend a ton of time like dilly-dallying. Make sure that you go in with intention, and then check your messages. And like I said, you can do that like 10-minute blocks 2 to 3 times a day. And then, like I said, I do challenge or check-in days on Wednesdays, and it's the middle of the week. That's when hump day, people are feeling like they want to quit their plan. Like I said, I'm big on retention, and I find that's the day that a lot of people are struggling. So I like to get on there with them. So let's see here. Candace asked, so what if somebody responds right away? When do you usually respond to them? Well, I respond to them when I have my 10-minute block set. So I don't respond right away. And I've only ever had one girl say, well, you didn't respond to me right away, so I went with someone else. And she was super rude about it. And I was like, yeah, probably not my person. But what I do is I wait until I have my 10 minutes. So if you have your 10-minute block built in right after your power hour and you've got your power hour done, then you can go back in and respond to her. And that's what I do. I find that works best because then I don't get sidetracked. And then also I'm in response mode. It's all about intention, guys. When you're intentional with your time, you will have more time. So that's what I do. So I know I ran a little over. Are there any other questions? I can stand for a few more minutes and answer any questions you guys have. Anybody? But really, just keep it simple. Don't overthink this business. And make sure, like I said at the beginning of the call, you get your workout in, you get your Shakeology in each day, that you're doing your personal development. So listening to, like I said, I listen to stuff rather than read it, because I am, if I sit down and read a book, my kids would be like, Mom, Mom, Mom. But if if I'm walking around making dinner, cleaning, driving, I've got, like I said, I'm a mama Uber, got to drive my kids all over at night. So I keep that earbud in this ear, and then I've got, my phone not in my lap, because that's illegal in Oregon, but I've got it in the console next to me, and I've got my Audible book on. If you don't have an Audible subscription, get one. You guys, it is worth the money. I have a very expensive college education, and the education I've gotten from personal development, specifically from the books I listen to on Audible, is more valuable to me than my college degree. And that's saying a lot, you guys. But I have learned so much and so many amazing skills that I apply to my business, my life, my marriage, my parenting, everything. So let's see here. Oh, sorry, my dog is barking. Somebody said I always waste time freaking out, like, oh, I need to respond. Well, yeah, don't waste time. Like, just say, no, that's not what I'm doing right now. I'll go back and respond to her. This was super helpful. Thank you. I'm an Uber mama. Yeah, if you are that mom that has those kids that has to drive all over, you have tournaments and things like that. Yeah, if your kid is playing in a game or they're doing a performance, you should be 100% present watching that. I believe that. Like, don't be on your phone. But if they're like doing practice, or, a lot of the tournaments have downtime, work your business. Like, you can work your business in those pockets of time. Like, like I said, one of my kids plays soccer, two do ballet, we've got gymnastics, music lessons, Girl Scouts, like everything. And I'll watch their games, I watch their recitals, like all of that. But during the practices, like I said, like, it's, especially my teenager, he's like, Mom, you need to go sit in the car. It's like freezing out here and raining, because it's Oregon, and so I just work my business. And then if you drop your kids off at school, maybe schedule, like I'll get asked to go to coffee all the time with like friends, and I'm like, well, I could meet you at 9 p.m. because after I sit down, after I drop my kids off, I sit in my car, I turn my car on, and I do part of my power hour, and I do my messages. And that's what works for me. My kids get out of school at 2:30, but I get to school at 2:15 so that I can, get in the line and I send my messages. I respond to all my messages, and I know I can get it done. So it's not stressing me out and hanging over my head. So figure out, like Danielle said on that call on Monday, when you're going to work your business and stick to those hours. I know you're busy. We're all busy. Like, everybody's busy. I have so many coaches on my team that their schedules would make your head spin, but then you look at how many people they've been helping in this business and how this business has helped them have freedom of time, because it's allowed them to go part-time, or it's allowed them to quit their job, and it's just a really cool opportunity. So we got a lot of a lot of people are going to do that. Clarissa said, yeah, I'm totally doing messages in car pickup line at school. Hey, it beats just sitting there, like, all the other moms and dads are on Facebook news feed in line. You might as well be making money, you guys, like doing your business, helping people. So, that's what I do. I'm just really intentional with it. So I am so sorry for going over, but I really wanted to get you guys all of that information, and I will post this list in the comments. Like I said, I'm simple, so the list is simple. But I hope this was helpful, and I hope you guys all have a really good night, and happy Power Hour. I hope you guys implement a Power Hour, whether it's mine or Shane's or Keisha's or Lauren, the one she's going to do tomorrow, but implement something and find what works and be consistent with it. And remember, you're going to have to be consistent for a while, and then you will start seeing results. All right, everybody have an awesome night. Thanks for joining me.